Good morning. I'm in my upstairs office. This is my bookcase behind me, but it's a cool bookcase in that it opens up into my bedroom. Um, so it's no longer a secret. But that's cool. Today is July 20th, 2019, which means that 50 years ago, today, I was 7 years old. Um, Man landed on the moon. And as a kid, like a lot of kids my age, but I think I was much more fanatical about it. Space was everything. Space travel, in particular. I had Major Matt Mason, the whole set, the moon base, and all of that. I had GI Joe. My dad was anti-war. My mom was anti-war, and GI Joe they let me have was the whole Mercury space capsule set. It came with a record, a 45. It used to play, and it had transmissions from the first U.S. Man in space, and then Alan Shepard, and then John Glenn um, orbiting the Earth. In I guess it was 1970. Uh, I was 8, and there was a door-to-door traveling encyclopedia salesman, and he was selling at a reduced rate um, the 1969 World Book Encyclopedia. And very smartly, the World Book Encyclopedia had already had a whole section on space and space travel, and had mapped out sort of how they were going to get to the moon, how they're going to get back, and all that sort of thing. So they were able to incorporate photographs from the moon in the 1969 edition. And I have two of those volumes. I have QR, and I have S. And the S has this entry on space travel. And you can see, there we are. And I would sit, well, first of all, I should say that this image right here, sitting on the floor, watching this on a black and white television set, which was fine because it was in black and white. I watched this happen. And it is one of the most significant things that human beings have ever done. It is a triumph of Western civilization, triumph of science and technology, of secular culture that emphasizes the individual and the ability of the individual to transcend his limitations. Oh, look, you can see Zarius walking through. And that was just an incredible moment, and to be alive to see that, and to see it through a child's eyes, was really special. Not to deny the experience to anybody else who saw it when they were older, or even who watch it now who weren't alive when it happened. But it was just, I don't know, I'll just claim that as a special moment. We left this plaque there, like human beings did. And we did this for all mankind. So I used to sit on the floor when we got this. I used to sit on the floor, and I would just leaf through these pages about, the our solar system, rockets, how they work, you know, the whole science of rocketry, and soon I'd be building model rockets and flying them. And, you know, boys just love this kind of stuff. A lot of the boys would love to dig into the air travel and, you know, planes and look at the ships and so forth. Me, this is what really got me. Look at this. This is great stuff. So it moves from, this is the John F. Kennedy Space Center on Cape Canaveral. So there's some full color photos and full color illustrations inside the space capsule, and I've actually in Huntsville they have at the Space Museum, you can actually see this and realize how small it was. I don't like small spaces, so I couldn't have dealt with that, so kudos to them. There's the full gear. I had that's the where is that? Let me see. Okay, that's the Gemini. So for my G.I. Joe, I had a Mercury space capsule. That's the Gemini. That was a two-man vessel. And then you'll have how when you leave the Earth, how you're going to get to the moon. And a cat is about to walk by because she knows I'm doing something, and that means she has to interrupt it. Pictures from the moon. These were hot off the press when this was released. The emergency sirens are going off, either because there's a tornado or we're under a flood warning. It's been raining like crazy. And then when we landed, and then we on the way back. So it takes about 3 days to get to the moon there and back again. And we returned these men successfully to the Earth, and we went additional times and rode buggies around and did all kinds of experiments. And today's that day, 50 years ago. And I just wanted to mark that day with just this little bit video message and remembrance and these wonderful encyclopedia, forever sort of time-locked they are, and the inaccuracies that one can find. These are the things that charge a kid's mind. And now we have the internet, Google, and we can look up all kinds of things. But I'm not letting this one go.